So after no primetime games scheduled in 2022, we started off with, we already had 2 on Thursday night, and it's only week 6 heading into the season. And the NFL decided to flex beginning in week 6. The very first flex game on the NFL schedule is the Detroit Lions and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, happening at 4:25 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow in Tampa Bay. And it's going to be a showdown of one team that was expected to be the leaders of their division and a surprise standout in the NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we are going to have to face them on the road. First time we've been on the road in, I want to say, a game or two, right? So I think we were at home last week, and now we are on the road. And Jared Goff plays very well on the road. But let's take a look at the ESPN Gamecast and check out the stats and what they have for your Detroit Lions. So the Detroit Lions are favorite 55%. They have a 55% chance to win this game to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 44%. Then you got to leave the 0.3% for a tie. If we look at the passing yards, Jared Goff, 111 for 159 for 1,265 yards. For every 3 touchdowns, he throws 1 interception with a 9-to-3 ratio. Baker Mayfield, 87 completions, 125 attempts for 882 yards. They are missing a game. Their bye week was week 5. 7 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So he's essentially throwing 3.5 touchdowns for every 1 interception. So him and Jared Goff are pretty much exactly the same right now. You have that -1 game. David Montgomery, 88 carries, 376 yards with 6 touchdowns. At this pace, he might beat Jamal Williams. I mean, we're just going into week 6. And R. White, I forgot his first name, 63 carries for 206 yards with 1 touchdown. St. Brown, who missed last game, will play this game with 26 receptions, 331 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Mike Evans, even missing they were off last week. He went out early the week before with a hamstring, is slated to play tomorrow, 20 receptions, 3 touchdowns for 337 yards. And there, if you are going to Tampa Bay, there you go right there, get you some tickets. Josh Pascal is out tomorrow. He was released off IR. Jonah Jackson is out. Brian Branch is out. James Mitchell is out. CJ Gardner-Johnson. I don't know why they have these here when we need the updated list. Not on this list is Jahmyr Gibbs. He will be out. Laporta will probably play. We'll know more about that tomorrow. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're pretty healthy. Shaq Barrett is questionable, and Anthony Nelson is doubtful, so he probably won't play. Now, when we go to total yards, the Detroit Lions have them by over 75 yards with 394 to 307. Passing yards, we got them by 30 plus, 253 to 220. Rushing yards, here is where this is going to be good. We have more than 50 yards rushing with 141 to 87 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Pass yards allowed, we pretty much allow the same, 249 to 243. Rushing yards allowed, they allow almost 30 more than us, but still under 100 yards per game at 94 to our 68.4. I want to say that is still the best in the league. If we look at the last 5 games, both teams are 4-1 dating back to the regular season. Well, the Baltimore Ravens right here are the preseason for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because they haven't played 5 games yet, but tomorrow will be 5. The Detroit Lions only lost coming in week 2 against Seattle. They are 4-1, and the Buccaneers are 3-1 because we're not going to include the preseason. So the Detroit Lions have a chance we're already 2.5 games ahead of the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers, I'm not sure if they're off tomorrow. I think they are entering a bye. So if the Detroit Lions were to win this game, they could go to 3.5 games ahead of the Green Bay Packers, with the Green Bay Packers having a week off. And I just want to remind you, if we come back against the Baltimore Ravens, meaning in week 7, and we beat them and Green Bay falls and loses, then we will have a 4.5 game lead against the Green Bay Packers going into week 8. How crazy is that? Insane. We could have, before even the bye week, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we could wrap this thing up in the middle of November. Like, that's how bad the NFC North is. But what do we have to do to win this game? Mike Evans, how limited will he be? He is their deep ball threat. He pretty much is their offense. Him and Chris Godwin, their second tier receivers are not a big deal. their defense, though, we have to be very worried about their defense, meaning that Ben Johnson needs to scheme around the defense, the linebackers, the defensive line. They have Antoine Whitfield in the backfield, right? So they have some guys that can cause problems for this team. And with no Jahmyr Gibbs, that could be quite the challenge. But we saw what Ben Johnson was able to do with no St. Brown. And now we have no Jahmyr Gibbs. But that's okay because Sam Laporta's probably going to play Josh Reynolds. You keep saying I don't give love to Josh Reynolds when I'm the number one advocate for Josh Reynolds from the time he was released by the Tennessee Titans. And I'm always saying we need to re-sign and we're going to re-sign Josh Reynolds. So you can stop with all that nonsense. But when it comes to what I expect tomorrow is to see if we can get Jameson Williams involved as a deep play threat or maybe even more of a decoy. I would love to get him involved a lot, but we can use him as a decoy. I don't think the Lions are going to have that much of a problem with the defense. You can run on them, okay? They don't have a run game. So I think the Detroit Lions can win this game, and I think they're going to win this game. Not a haughty, arrogant thing. I just think they're rolling right now. But you are facing a team that is coming off a bye week. But Mike Evans, how limited will he be? For him to come back from a hamstring 2 weeks after aggravating it, that's kind of a big deal. Could he worsen it? Is it fully healed? I don't know. I really haven't seen a hamstring come back. I mean, here it is that Jahmyr Gibbs has a hamstring problem and he's going on his second missed game and he's way younger than Mike Evans, right? So I don't know how effective Mike Evans will be, but I think the key is really going to be, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like to blitz a lot as well. So if we can pick that stuff up, we're going to have some backup offensive linemen in there. But I think that Ben Johnson is going to plan around. He's going to game plan around and have a lot of quick passes. St. Brown is going to be there. So the middle of the field, he's going to attract a lot of attention, which is going to open, in my opinion, down the field for Josh Reynolds, that intermediate. And then maybe Jameson Williams, man, get him involved. If we can get that play action game going, then I think we can win this game. Will it be a beatdown? I'm not sure. Because if you look at, here's the thing about Tampa Bay. If you look at who they've played, trying to mix two words together, they've played the 1-4 Minnesota Vikings, they've played the 1-4 Chicago Bears, and they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, and they beat a pretty decent team in New Orleans. So, I mean, real talk, they really haven't played anybody that they should have lost to. They should have beat the Vikings. They should have beat the Chicago Bears. They should have lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, and they beat the Saints. I think that's the one game that you could say was that division matchup evenly matched a little bit. But I don't think that, I think this shift, we're about to really see what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are made of. We already know what we're made of. We've been building this for the past 3 years. The Detroit Lions have not lost a back-to-back game since we fired Aubrey Pleasant in week 8. Last year. It's been 1 year since the Detroit Lions have lost back-to-back games, although that doesn't matter in this situation because we've won the last game. So I think that the Detroit Lions are going to win this game. And I think because we're clicking, we're going, Jameson Williams is going to get involved. If Laporta's out there, he's going to provide something. I don't know how good he's going to be tomorrow with the calf, but I think we win this game. I think we win this game. I want to get ahead of myself, but you guys will see next week that I think the Detroit Lions are in a primo situation to go into the bye week with a stellar record. So this is the best start we've had in 40 years. Can you believe that? 40 years. So those are my thoughts on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Detroit Lion matchup. Let me know yours in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. And before we get off, I almost forgot, we will be having a week from today the Uno's Pizzeria watch party. Here is a few clips that the restaurant put together. This was us on the 17th of September watching the Seattle Seahawks game. There I am, and there is the rest of the crowd. That is the television right there. Shout out to everybody who went. But this is what it looks like. We had about 35 people or so there. So if you are interested, the link for the tickets will be in the description. And I also have 4 tickets that I have available. Somebody gifted me money to buy 4 tickets. So if you are interested, you can reach out to me on Twitter. You can direct message me at Lions Syndicate on Twitter. If you don't have Twitter, you can email me as well. That link will be in the description to check that out. So you guys are awesome, man. And the Lions, we are going to be 5-1 after tomorrow.